The cameras flashed, the crowd froze, and then complete and utter silence.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, picture this. A Hollywood A-lister, someone known for these, like, massive, high-profile romances with the absolute biggest leading men in the world, just suddenly vanishes from the tabloid dating pages.
Just completely gone.
Just gone. The secret. Why Renée Zellweger kept Ant Anstead a secret from everyone. She found love in a dusty garage, holding a power tool, and decided to just keep it entirely off the grid.
I love that.
Welcome to Starscope Report. Join Jordan and Jamie as they uncover Hollywood drama, music industry shakeups, and viral influencer scandals. From red carpet surprises to social media controversies, we dive deep into the stories behind the fame.
And today's deep dive, it takes a massive stack of sources. We are pulling from exclusive rep statements, dense legal bankruptcy filings, and, very rare social media tributes.
Right.
The mission here is to really reverse engineer this relationship for you. We need to unpack not just why an Oscar winner went to such extreme lengths to hide her romance with a British TV mechanic, but
how it survived, right?
exactly how that protective firewall of secrecy was violently tested by a multi-million-dollar legal scandal.
I mean, I want to challenge the foundational premise of this right out of the gate.
Okay, go for it.
We are talking about Renée Zellweger here. Her dating history is practically a textbook on Hollywood royalty. George Clooney, Bradley Cooper, Jim Carrey.
Yep, massive names.
Right. She lived through an entire era where her personal life was like the main commodity keeping grocery store tabloids in business. For someone so entrenched in that ecosystem, how do you even uncouple your self-worth from that constant public validation?
That's the thing. It can't just be a light switch you flip.
Exactly.
But it's not a light switch. It is a very calculated psychological withdrawal. In 2019, she gave this interview detailing a radical shift in her philosophy.
Oh, what did she say?
She literally said, you just don't talk about it, you don't post it.
Wow, just completely shutting it down.
Yeah, but the mechanism behind that choice is what really matters.
Yeah.
She realized that public consumption inherently distorts a private bond.
Like it changes the relationship itself.
Exactly. By making her personal life totally unavailable for public comment, she removed the audience's ability to, vote on her happiness.
Mm.
And you really have to contrast her mindset at that exact moment with where Ant Anstead was.
Because Ant was living on a completely different planet emotionally.
Oh, absolutely.
He was going through what he openly called a dark moment. So it's late 2020, and he is navigating this highly publicized, incredibly messy divorce from HGTV's Christina Hack.
Right. Very public.
Yeah, he's basically bleeding out in the press while Renee has successfully barricaded herself away from it.
Which is why the setting of their meeting is so critical to the architecture of their entire relationship.
Yeah, the location is everything.
It really is. It's April 2021. They meet on the set of the Discovery Plus show, Celebrity IOU Joyride.
Such a great show.
Yeah. And Renee is there to gift cars to the two brothers who acted as caregivers for her late publicist, Nancy Ryder.
Oh, that's so sweet.
And for you listening, Nancy had recently passed away from ALS, which is a severely debilitating nervous system disease. So Renee is in this incredibly raw, vulnerable state of mourning, honoring someone she loved deeply.
So she steps into a working garage, not a VIP lounge.
Exactly.
And this is where I think the environment really dictated everything that followed.
Mm-hmm.
We expect A-listers to meet at, Vanity Fair after parties surrounded by publicists and managers.
Handing out business cards.
Right. But they met over engine parts and transmission fluid.
Mm-hmm.
There is something just intensely grounding about a blue-collar, greasy hands environment.
Definitely.
When you meet someone and you both literally have grease on your hands, you're sweating under industrial lights, it strips away the Hollywood pretense immediately. You can't really put on airs when you're wearing safety goggles.
You really can't. The physical environment kind of fast-tracked the emotional authenticity.
Hmm.
They didn't have to navigate the usual Hollywood courtship of being seen at the right restaurant.
Right, the whole PR game.
Yeah. And we actually got a really rare visual of this exact dynamic recently. On April 24th, 2026, Ant posted this 5-year anniversary tribute on Instagram.
Oh, I saw that.
The caption is so sweet. He says, "Happy 5-year anniversary, my beautiful lady. Luckiest boy. I love you, my Ren."
Oh.
But the photo itself is the real evidence of what we're talking about here.
Oh, totally. The visual of that photo tells the entire story. She is not in a designer gown holding a martini.
Yep.
She is wearing a heavy flannel shirt, denim jeans, and like clear plastic protective safety glasses.
That's amazing.
She has this heavy-duty power tool in her hands, and she is just throwing her head back laughing.
Yeah.
And Ant is in all black with these thick work gloves. It is the absolute antithesis of glamour.
They essentially built an emotional firewall right there in that garage by putting all their relationship equity into this private, completely unglamorous shared interest rather than, Instagram likes or red carpet appearances.
Yeah, they didn't need the validation.
Right. They created this anti-Hollywood bubble in Southern California. They found a house, moved in together, and completely insulated themselves from the noise.
But I mean, keeping a secret in Hollywood when things are going perfectly is one thing.
Right, that's the easy part.
Keeping your private life intact when millions of dollars and a federal court case come crashing down on your roof, that's when you find out if the foundation is concrete or just drywall.
Exactly.
And that's not even the wildest part of this timeline.
Because a private bubble cannot stop a federal judge.
No, it cannot. Let's push into the financial storm because this is where the romance hits the brutal reality of the legal system.
Yeah, this gets intense.
Starting around October 2024, Ant's supercar company, Radford Motors, crashes into Chapter 11 bankruptcy amid fierce fraud allegations.
Which instantly sparks a massive media frenzy.
Massive. And we need to break down the mechanics of this financial disaster because, well, bankruptcy is a term thrown around in Hollywood all the time.
Yeah, people hear it and shrug.
Right. Chapter 11 is usually just a reorganization. It's a strategic move for a company to restructure its debts, negotiate, and basically keep the lights on.
But things escalated here in a way that is incredibly rare and legally violent.
Oh, big time.
The company was hit with accusations of fraud and misrepresentation. And just to be clear to you listening, we are impartially reporting the source material here. These are allegations in the filings.
Right. But the lawsuits totaled over $3 million.
Yeah, $3 million. And this wasn't just abstract numbers on a spreadsheet either. The landlord of their Costa Mesa, California headquarters legally moved to evict them.
Wow.
The allegation was that they stayed in the building after the lease was terminated.
Which is crazy. You might hear corporate bankruptcy and think of like men in suits in a boardroom, but picture your own landlord chaining the doors to your workplace so you physically can't get in.
That is next level panic.
That's the level of stress we're talking about here.
And that stress reached a really critical turning point in May 2025. A court hearing officially converted that Chapter 11 bankruptcy into a Chapter 7 bankruptcy.
This is a huge difference.
Massive.
Yeah.
For you listening, Chapter 7 means liquidation. It means the end of the road.
Yeah, it's over.
A trustee is appointed to sell off your assets to pay creditors. It is a catastrophic financial blow. And while the fraud claims were just allegations, the legal pressure and the liquidation were undeniable, documented realities.
You can only imagine the kind of toxic anxiety that brings into a household.
Absolutely.
And by late May 2025, that pressure cooker explodes right into the tabloids. The fiercely protected privacy they had built is just shattered overnight.
It was everywhere.
Rumors start flying everywhere that Renee and Ant are living separately because of his financial ruin. The media really painted this narrative of the A-list actress fleeing a sinking ship.
Which, honestly, from the outside looked entirely plausible based on the breadcrumbs the tabloids were picking up.
What were they saying?
Well, Ant was spotted staying overnight in Laguna Beach at a detached guest house owned by a divorced friend named Julia French.
Oh, man. The media took that single geographical fact and just ran a marathon with it.
They definitely did.
The frenzy got so intense, so invasive, that their representative was actually forced to break their silence.
Which is rare.
Super rare. Now, we all know reps operate on the strategy of never complain, never explain.
Right.
If a rep is speaking on the record, it means the narrative is causing actual, tangible damage to the clients. The rep called the press reports disrespectful and misleading.
But look at the logistical defense they offered, because this is fascinating.
This is exactly what I want to dig into. The rep explained that Renee was simply in New York City filming only murders in the building, while Ant was spending the majority of his time working in the UK on a new season of his show Born Mechanic.
Right.
Now, we all know that filming on opposite coasts is the ultimate Hollywood PR code for we're calling divorce lawyers.
Oh, 100%.
So when the rep used that line, the entire industry assumed it was over. Why wasn't it? Like, why didn't a $3 million liquidation break them?
Because of that emotional firewall we discussed earlier. When you introduce a federal bankruptcy court, eviction notices, and millions of dollars in lawsuits into a quiet domestic life, it forces a couple to face the most grueling realities of partnership.
Yeah, the honeymoon phase is over.
Exactly. If their relationship was built on being a Hollywood power couple, the bad PR of a bankruptcy would have completely destroyed them.
Because their brand would be ruined.
Yes. But because they never relied on the media to validate their happiness, the media couldn't tear it down when things got financially terrifying. The bankruptcy could only burn down the financial side of the house, not the emotional foundation they poured in that garage.
That is such a good point. Hey, if you're loving these Hollywood twists and want to know how this legal nightmare unfolded, make sure you're subscribed. We've got even crazier stories ahead in this deep dive.
Because the aftermath of that financial storm reveals the most fascinating logistical choices of this entire relationship.
Right. Later in the deep dive, we'll talk about the shocking twist nobody saw coming, how the couple actually answered those nasty rumors, and it involves a pulsing crystal ball and a very crowded red carpet.
The contrast between what the public assumed and how they actually navigated the mechanics of their daily life is just staggering.
Let's get right into the logistics of survival. Because the shocking fact here is that not only did this relationship survive a brutal Chapter 7 liquidation and relentless tabloid scrutiny, but Renée Zellweger willingly dove headfirst into the sheer logistical nightmare of co-parenting a massive bicontinental blended family.
Yeah, the math on this family dynamic is incredibly complex.
Break it down for us.
Okay, so Ant has two older children from his first marriage to Louise Story. That's Amelie, who is 22, and Archie, who is 19.
Okay.
They are primarily based in the UK. Then he has young Hudson, who is 6 years old, from his second marriage to Christina Hacks, based in California. So you are blending an Oscar-winning actress into a family that spans an ocean, multiple developmental age groups, and high-profile ex-spouses.
How does an A-list actress actually adapt to a kindergartner's custody schedule? Because Renee didn't just dip her toe in, she completely restructured her life.
She really did.
In an interview with her former co-star, Hugh Grant, she revealed that she moved to Southern California, specifically near San Diego. She literally said, because that's where my fellow lives and his little boy.
And San Diego isn't a Hollywood hub.
No, not at all.
It's a deliberate, logistical choice to be near the ex-wife's custody ace. She left the traditional epicenter of her industry to build her daily life around school drop-offs and weekend custody arrangements.
That physical move represents a profound psychological submission to the needs of the child over her own professional convenience.
Totally.
The tabloids were painting a picture of a couple torn apart by lawsuits, but the reality, according to sources, was the daily grind of making dinner together, cozy movie nights, and just hanging out at home.
The details from the sources give us a window into what that actually looks like. There's this one incredibly specific holiday video Ant posted on Instagram.
Oh, I remember that one.
The camera is just focused on 5-year-old Hudson.
Yeah.
He is mesmerized, gazing into this pulsing pink and purple crystal ball.
So cute.
Right. And off camera, you can just hear Renee laughing joyously in the background.
Yeah.
It's such a pure, uncurated domestic moment.
Completely.
It just completely contradicts the narrative of a household in crisis.
What's fascinating about a video like that is how it functions as a PR strategy by, refusing to be a PR strategy.
Exactly.
In an era of influencer oversharing, where celebrities post these highly curated notes app apologies or sit down for dramatic interviews to explain every rumor, their strategy was absolute silence.
Yeah, they didn't do a sit-down interview to deny the split. They didn't try to spin the bankruptcy.
Nothing. The ultimate clapback to the 2025 split rumors wasn't a PR statement. It was the simple, undeniable mechanism of survival. It was living their life quietly enough, for long enough, to post that 2026 5-year anniversary photo. Showing up consistently over time is the one thing you really cannot fake in the press.
And when they did finally show up in public, they flipped the script entirely.
Oh, the premiere?
Yes, January 2025 at the London premiere of Bridget Jones. Mad about the boy.
Such a big deal.
And didn't just quietly sneak in the back door to support Renee. He brought his 2 older teenagers, Amelie and Archie, with him. They walked the red carpet as a massive family unit.
I love that.
And the way he handled the social media around it was brilliant. He posted a photo of himself with his kids and wrote that the lead actress was mesmerizing and smoking hot tea.
He publicly joked that he told his missus she was his hall pass.
Which is hilarious.
That specific brand of humor is an incredibly effective defense mechanism against the intense glare of a global movie premiere. By acting like an overeager fanboy with a crush, he completely deflates any tension or awkwardness about their private relationship suddenly being consumed by the public.
Yes.
It demonstrates a level of internal security that a publicist just literally cannot script for you.
It proves that the grease and the power tools from that garage where they first met are still the core of their dynamic. They refuse to take the Hollywood machine seriously, which is basically the only way to survive it.
Absolutely. Stay tuned and hit that subscribe button so you don't miss what's coming next.
When we look at the entire architecture of this relationship, the lesson is really in the mechanics of how they insulated themselves.
Let's synthesize all of this. We are looking at a relationship that was built from the ground up over a shared love of cars and a profound shared understanding of navigating grief.
That's a deep bond.
That incredibly grounded blue-collar foundation proved resilient enough to withstand the blinding glitz of a London red carpet, the grueling logistics of opposite coast shooting schedules, and the heavy, terrifying reality of a federal bankruptcy liquidation.
They survived the ultimate stress test because they never outsourced their relationship's value to the public. If you build your house out of tabloid headlines, a bad headline will knock it down.
Wow, that's so true.
They built theirs out of quiet, daily choices.
Which leaves you with a really profound question to mull over. If extreme privacy is the ultimate luxury in modern Hollywood, are the stars who share the least actually the ones who have the most to protect? Think about that for a second. We are so deeply conditioned to expect 24/7 access to every corner of a celebrity's life, from their morning coffee to their court date.
Right, we feel entitled to it.
Exactly. But how much of what we consume as toxic celebrity scandal is really just the media trying to maliciously fill the void of a story that a celebrity simply refuses to hand over? Are the rumors of a split just the tax you pay for choosing a quiet life?
It really makes you wonder.
Think about the mechanics of that the next time you see a split rumor trending online. You've been listening to Starscope Report, where Jordan and Jamie uncover the stories shaping Hollywood, music, and pop culture. Thanks for tuning in, and don't forget to subscribe for more stories that keep the stars shining.